what was the impetus behind making this deal? Is this a business decision to further Viagogo, or is this something a little bit more personal?
Oh, I think it's definitely the business logic was just so obvious to us. So as you note, I founded both companies, but Viagogo is really the international leader, so has global distribution. Stubhub is the premier brand in the United States. You put together the two together, and you're enabling fans to buy a ticket for any event anywhere in the world in their language, their currency.
Why did you need to buy Stubhub, though? Why not just expand Viagogo's brand into the U.S.? Why do it through an acquisition?
Well, Stubhub is just such a phenomenal leader in the United States. They built a tremendous brand over 20 years. We really think it's one of the best brands in the world, not just for tickets, but for any consumer internet brand.
Just picking up on that, Eric, do you regret selling it in the first place? Romaine's question about kind of whether this is a little bit personal, was that a mistake all those years ago?
Yeah, well, unfortunately, Guy, it's a very good question. I had differences with my co-founder of the business, and so I was pushed out of the business, remained a large shareholder, and sort of was rooting for it, but before that decision was made. So if it had been up to me, I never would have sold it, certainly costing me a pretty penny to rebuy it, but we think that all's well that ends well, and it definitely is now a great purchase for Viagogo.
As you say, it's costing you a pretty penny. Can I just deal with the details of kind of the breakdown of that pretty penny in terms of the financing? You're going to do some cash, you got some debt coming in, plus some equity coming in. Can you just walk us through the mix and how those are all going to fit together?
Yeah, so we're not disclosing the specifics across that, but Viagogo, it's a scale and profitable business, and so we had cash on the balance sheet, the ability to take some debt on, and we have some great backers, Bessemer Venture Partners, Madrone Partners, who were willing to step up as well. So the combination made it possible, and we're very excited about it.
So, looking at this deal, there has been a lot of criticism just about the secondary ticket market out there. Viagogo has gotten a lot of criticism about some of its practices over in the UK. Stubhub has had fair criticism here in the US. How do you sell this to consumers? What's the advantage to someone like me going through one of your platforms?
Sure. Well, I think, the whole premise of our businesses is to create accessibility for fans to get access to tickets and to make it easier for consumers to buy and sell. And we have to earn our business every day from consumers to do that. I think the benefit now of putting the two together, again, is that if you're a fan, you can buy a ticket for any event anywhere in the world easily and seamlessly, because really what fans and consumers want is just a frictionless experience to get what they want when they want it.
But so much with these marketplaces and platforms out there across various industries, it really boils down to how much the users can sort of trust the system itself. There have been cracks in that system that we've seen that have caused a degree of mistrust to the point where regulators have felt that they've needed to speak out about it. How do you ensure that when folks go on there looking for tickets, that they are seeing something that's real and something that's priced at, I guess, whatever the market value would be, a fair market value?
Sure. So the key is when you're talking about Viagogo and Stubhub, we're marketplaces. We don't set the prices. And you're absolutely right that what the consumers need to know is that it's a safe, secure, guaranteed transaction. So the buyer knows they're going to get the ticket that they want on time. The seller knows they're going to get paid. That's really the backbone of it. But you're absolutely right. We're working every day to continue to improve our transparency and build trust with users.
Do you think as a bigger company, you're going to face more regulatory scrutiny?
I think that fans want the ability to buy and sell tickets. I think that's very popular with people. But I think that, look, anytime you're a large consumer business, it's very important that you're always putting the consumers first and doing everything you can to improve. And so when you're at a certain scale, of course, it's going to be the subject of attention. But we think this will be very positive for everyone in the value chain.
Eric, you talked earlier about the fact that you do have a sentimental kind of attachment to the business, but this is a business deal. Do you think you got a good price? I read a bunch of notes this morning on eBay from a bunch of different analysts, and they all said the price was above expectations. Did you really get a good deal here?
Well, I would tell you the reason we're very excited about doing this and we felt that it was a fair deal for all involved is, remember, when you talk about the synergies and the complementary nature of these two businesses, where Viagogo really has everything ex-US in terms of distribution, a phenomenal distribution platform, and Stubhub's great in the States, combine those two and you're getting global distribution. That's not something that anyone else could have created from this combination, as well as the fact that we just know this asset extremely well, having founded it. So we think we're in a unique position to make this a fair trade and derive value for both parties at the price we paid.
So in terms of branding, I mean, if I'm in the UK or overseas, I'm going to still see Viagogo, and I'm in the US, I'm still going to see Stubhub, or are you going to sort of meld these under one sort of umbrella brand?
Well, we'll see what happens over time. Again, as with a large transaction like this, it takes time before it officially closes, so I can't really comment specifically on what we'll do. But obviously, the Stubhub brand is phenomenal. It's one of, I think, as I said, the best brands in the world. So we look forward to continuing to build that.
Where do you see the live event trend going next? Clearly, there is huge demand for people to have these kinds of experiences. Where do you see, what's the next kind of hotspot in that kind of market?
Oh, I think we have a huge tailwind when you talk about live events. And what's great is that with technology, it's changed so many things that people do, shopping from home, not doing the same things they may have. But the one thing that's been consistent is live events and continues to grow. And I think that's because the emotional and visceral connection that fans have, whether you're seeing your favorite concert or your favorite sporting event, can never be duplicated, no matter how good virtual reality is. So we think you're just going to continue to see this. We see it in a global basis as folks in different countries get more disposable income. They want to go to live events. And I think the train is not going to stop anytime soon.